Well, we're gonna walk down and see the progress. Oh my God, it looks so fantastic. Well, hopefully this jacaranda tree is gonna make it. In this episode, we move all the trees, we look at the drainage for the pad, we make significant progress on grading the land to build the pad, and we put the final steps of erosion control and gravel. Come with us on phase 2 of our metal barn. Well, on the continuing saga of building our building, I've got Dave coming up with his backhoe today. We've got to transplant 8 trees, and I'm sure glad he's here with the backhoe. There's our building site. We're going to move the 2 olive trees, 4 walnut trees over here, the bougainvillea, and the jacaranda tree will all be moved today. So Wee Wee's doing the picking of the olive trees. We're moving these 2. This is such an amazing piece of equipment. It just blows me away what this thing can do. That would take an hour right there to do by hand. Woo, busy day. So Dave's getting the holes dug. And I'm trying to get them full of, well, at least moisture as much as I can. So what I'm doing is got the hose going. Trying to fill up the hole, get as much water in there as we can. Got another one dug over here where the jacaranda tree is going to go. Nicely dug. Then we're going to have 4 walnut trees I'm going to put in a straight line, and an extra hole that he dug, and we're going to put that bougainvillea either between these olive trees over here or out in the middle of the field, and I'm thinking the middle of the field. Busy day on the ranch today. Even got my neighbors down here collecting wood. We've got just so much wood. Just giving it away because it's in our way, and they're using a backhoe to be able to load up the trailer that they've got over here. So super busy day. All this area has been cleared. 20 foot of the tree level's been chopped off. We're going to do some more clearing up here, take the tops out of all these, and maybe make a window through there. Oh geez, lots of things happening. Okay, so that's where we are, folks. In case you're wondering about that big, beautiful tree that was possibly on the slate for being taken down, I decided to keep the tree and build the barn adjacent to the tree. That way we keep a lot more of the nature and the aesthetics of the property. I'm really glad we didn't cut that tree down. Transplanting these 8 trees that I had planted several years earlier was a really good idea too. It was nice to keep them on the property, and it's amazing how hardy they can be. Especially olive trees, which seem to be almost indestructible. The ground is so dry, and pulling up these huge olive trees, you really expose the root ball, especially when you dump them out into the hole. But they all seem to be doing just fine. Bougainvilleas are a little bit different. They're a little more delicate, and this move was especially hard since it had a wire cage and metal stakes all around it entwined with the roots. But we did get it moved. And it was pretty rough on this plant, but I'm happy to report it does survive. Well, there should be plenty of water in here. It's like a swimming pool. Well, folks, there she is. We got the bougainvillea in. Man, it's going to look great. So we've received back the drawings, And the first page of the drawings is a site plan. So over in this corner is where the house is and where the new building's going to go. The rest of this is the outline of the entire property, so we're up in this corner of the property. So if we look at the way the pad is going to be designed, what you'll see is we have a road right here. That's our driveway that you see in the videos. We're going to have an entryway, a nice flat area where the building's going to go. That's this square. And then an exit driveway. So it's basically like this up to the house or back down off the property. The back end here is where we need to fill, and there's a big hillside that we're going to contour over here and bring the dirt down, push it back, and on this side compact it and fill this side. As you can see the contour lines here. This will be approximately 6 feet of fill in the back. And some good news, this outline right here is the big tree that we decided to keep. So we're not going to move this over where the tree is. We're going to keep the tree and build it there. So now you can start to see how all this comes together. The very first cuts at 6 something in the morning. Look at these guys go. He's making a bit of a road so that we can get the equipment that needs to come in from the road. So this is what it looks like after the trees have been transplanted and nothing's there. Okay, next chunk of equipment. That's the serious one. That's the bulldozer. This piece of equipment's called a sheep's foot vibratory compactor, and it does the initial compaction of the soil. This time sequence of the pad being built really shows the amount of effort that it takes. The first steps here, they're removing the first foot of topsoil so that they can start a nice hard foundation. And they cut down in certain areas of the pad and they fill in others. This back portion of the pad actually gets filled 6 feet deep. You can see how much they move back and forth and how much water we had to haul in and spray to keep the dust down. You can certainly see it starting to take shape. They're cutting from the front end, pushing that dirt toward the back, and the two compactors are compacting it down. They do it in 6-inch layers of dirt, compacted. So for 6 feet, every 6 inches, they put a layer down, compact it, and then put fresh dirt on top and recompact it. This makes for a very solid foundation. The topsoil that was taken off initially, I had them pile up, and I'll use that for future use somewhere on the property. We still have quite a bit left because that culvert's not in yet. The hillside over here is completely cleared. The pad, look at this, just how smooth and level it is. And this driveway over here, that driveway there, is awesome. It's just great. So we've got these rain protectors, they're wattles made of hay and straw all around here. I've got to get seed. Seed has to be placed down. We need to get a matting of kind of a matted straw and little wires inside there that are holding it together that need to be put everywhere on a sloped surface. Technically it's late because we were supposed to finish today and the rain is coming next week, so overall I'm pretty pleased. It's just we've got one heck of a lot of stuff to do yet, but we're progressing. We're getting closer to now doing the foundation. I've got the application in. I've got to get all these drawings printed out for the foundation calculations, for the building calculations, the building drawings, copies of the soil reports, and probably even the grading plan like 4 sets to go to the county, sit down, explain to them, talk to them, get any modifications that they want to do, get the drawings lined out, and then once that's done, I need to hire a contractor for doing the concrete. I have to make sure the foundations are dug very precise and the bolts are put in that match up with the building. I'm getting the building engineer, the guy that sold me the building, is coming out to measure before we pour the concrete. And before any of that happens, I've got to get gravel all the way across here. And these are really wide roads. We've got a 25-foot wide road here, a 25-foot wide road around the building here, 20 in the back and 15 on that side, and then 25 all the way up the driveway. So that's somewhere in the ballpark of 250 tons of gravel to make it 4 inches deep. The original plan said 8 inches deep. It was 430 tons. Glad I'm going to cut that back a little bit because that's crazy, because I'm going to blacktop a lot of this. So anyway, that's where we are right now and some of the things that has to come up. So stay tuned. This thing is going to be great. I can't wait to see the foundation get to be poured and the building go up. Here's the pipe. It's buried deeper than I expected. We have the trench that'll catch the water coming down here. Bring it over, and it's buried across the driveway, and it has to make it over to there. Just in time finish, because we have rains coming tonight. So, exit driveway across the front, and driveway all the way out to the main driveway. We still have a lot of seed to put down and a lot of the matting to put down. This pile of topsoil needs to get covered. They'll move this equipment tomorrow. Fantastic. And they made a cool little drain junction that goes from a drain right at this corner, a trench that comes down with water to a low point. Then underneath the pad there is a pipe that comes here, and a pipe that continues on to where that new ditch is that goes to the culvert that crosses the road. But you can see down here the connection where the 2 pipes go. Those are the 2 pipes. So water basically goes across, fills up here as a nice little clean out spot, and then continues on underground until it comes out on this ditch. I'm going to fill this area in with landscaping, and the other side of the swaddle will be brought up to the same height. So there you go, folks. There's the pad. The grading is done. We've got all the erosion control in, which was quite an effort. But it's ready now to start going through the process for the building permit with the county. That's the next step. But for right now, the pad is finished. All the grading's done. I'm pleased. Next comes the foundation and the concrete pad. In our next episode, our erosion control gets severely challenged. The weather does eventually change, and we're able to start the forming up and building of our foundation for the new building. And we can't wait to show you the progress. And we'll see you next time on Keith and We Adventures. I know, man, passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.